Good evening, everyone. As always, I am delighted and excited, or is it excited and delighted to be here? I wish you could hear the background conversations before I get on the air. We have so much fun at A1R. We really do. It's been an interesting couple of weeks. I don't know how many folks were involved with the storms, though here in Florida, it was a bit crazy. I know I mentioned it last week, but a lot of people are still reeling. I heard today, actually last night, about a friend's pup who's a little further north who went out and was stepping in a puddle, as our dogs often do. And there was a snake there that doesn't live in the area. Long story short, the poor pooch got bit and was rushed to the hospital. What I'm trying to get at here is expect the unusual within the usual. And what I mean by that is when we have inclement weather, when we have unexpected weather, along with it comes animals. The wind doesn't just move a house, the wind doesn't just move a car or a tree. There are animals as well that could all of a sudden show up in your backyard. Your best bet is to be cautious if you have small children, if you have animals, and normally you just open the door and go ahead, honey, go play. Just make sure you take a look around. And I'm going to say, truly, listen to your own intuition when it comes to this. Now that you are aware of it, open the door, stand there for a moment, connect with yourself, ask yourself, is it safe? Is all well? Take that moment. You'll get a feeling, whether it's like an absolute yes, of course, don't be silly, or I don't feel 100%. Understand that if I don't feel 100% comes up, you want to listen to that. And obviously, if you hear that, oh my God, no, then you also want to pay attention to that. You have your own divine intuition. I was chatting with a friend today who's in the speaker world, and we were talking about titles and how you help individuals understand content. And if you are involved in the business arena, how it's different than the average Joe, let's say, who's at a pizza place. And yet, we all come from the same place. We all have the same gifts. I may be a little bit more tapped in to my gifts. That doesn't mean that you don't have them. We are all connected. Every religion, every culture talks about brothers and sisters, our connectedness. Where do you think that comes from? It doesn't just come from living in a village together. It doesn't just come from being from the same geographical area. It comes from the divine. It really does. It comes from before we were here on the planet. These types of things we want to pay attention to. Consciousness is rapidly changing of late. And I say that because for years and years and years, I've been hearing, we're ascending, we're moving from 3D, we're moving from 4D, we're growing, we're ascending. You get the idea. Today, I was paying attention to someone speaking about what distinguishes the different levels of consciousness. And it really is frequency. It is how is it that you are vibrating within your own universe? Think about that for a minute. How is it that you are vibrating in and within your own universe? And when I say that, I'm not talking about the universe at large, I'm talking about you. Did you know, for instance, that our palms are a microcosm of the macrocosm, which means all the planets that we hear about in respect to astrology, in respect to astronomy, all exist within our palm. There is a reason that when somebody does palmistry, they talk about Jupiter and they talk about the mounts and they talk about different things that actually are a mirror, but in minuscule form to what's up in the heavens, to what's in the universe. If we look within ourselves, we have the same stardust that's above the planet. We also have the same pH as the water in the ocean when we are equilibrated. There is no mistake in respect to how we interact with our planet, how our bodies operate. We think of ourselves as separate because I live here, you live there, or I look different. I have brown hair, you have white hair. And the truth is that we're all interconnected. Each of us has instinct, each of us has gut feelings, each of us has knowing. It's simply a matter of learning how to listen for yourself. And each person divines information differently. Some people say, oh, got that funny feeling in my stomach. I'm not going to work today. A lot of folks think it's coincidence. I personally don't think there are any coincidences. Things happen as they are supposed to, even when they make us unhappy. Think about that for a little bit because we learn. We're constantly learning. We're constantly recognizing ourselves and others and vice versa. All right. I believe we have Rachel. It's either Rachel or Raquel, and forgive me. Which is it? It's Rachel. Okay. Hi, Rachel. And I think you're from Arkansas. Yes?
Yep.
All right. Welcome. How are you this evening?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Did you have a particular area of focus that you wanted to examine, or is there a particular question?
Um, there's well, there's somebody I'm talking to. Like we've been friends for a while, but I'm wondering if like how he feels
Okay.
about me.
So
So
you're trying to figure out if he's got the same attraction to you as you do to him. Is that correct?
yeah, right,
Okay. All right. I get that, yes, there is very similar attraction, though there's a lot of ambiguousness in respect to taking it to another step to move forward. I get that the friendship is so important that there's concern that if you were to become more involved, that your friend would lose the connection with you, that, there would be that possibility of, oh my gosh, now I don't have my friend anymore. What I'd like to suggest is kind of putting it out there without putting it out there. And you might say something to the effect of, we're like so good together. I really enjoy your company. I wonder if we could spend more time together or find ways to spend more time together, not just chat. Because I feel like,
right,
again, there's something there, though I get him being protective of himself, and specifically because the friendship is so important. There's a
okay,
little room, wiggle room, if you will, where he
hmm
can recognize that the person that you are is not somebody who would turn around and say, oh, well, I had a thing for you. No, I don't. I don't want to talk to you again. That's not who you are.
right,
You have this, I'm going to say, essence about you that has to do with when you connect with someone, whether it's a gal pal or a friend or somebody that you're romantic with, you don't just dismiss them. That's not your personality. Even if it doesn't work out, you're kind of like, okay, I wish them well. Oh God, they were a jerk, but I still wish them well. I don't get
yeah,
the feeling that you go, oh, I hate them. I never want to see them. They should die. I don't get that from you. I
no,
think your friend just needs to know that the core essence of who you are is somebody who genuinely cares and someone who would not all of a sudden say, "Ugh, you're dismissed from my life." And that's what I'm suggesting. See if you can't share a little bit without actually asking for the relationship in this moment, just kind of letting them know that what you have is important and you'd like to have more of it. You follow?
yes,
Okay. And time. We're in, what are we in? We're in November. We're in October. Yes, October, November, December, January. Okay. I'm going to say you need patience. If you really want this to turn into something, it won't be immediate. I keep hearing
right. I
June.
understand.
Okay.
I'm
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
have patience. No, I was just going to say that I keep in my head hearing June, and that this to me would either represent that you had met in June or that by June there is a deeper connection.
Okay.
So it's again not immediate, meaning if you want to go out and have a great time and be in a relationship right in this moment or even in 3 months, yeah, I'd have patience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How would,
We've been
go
friends
ahead.
for years, but just really reconnected, I guess, back in May. So
Okay, close to June, not exactly, but okay. But I keep hearing June. So if you connected in May and I keep hearing June, and it's not that you met in June, I'm wondering if it's not in June he started to examine his own feelings. Because I keep hearing the word
okay.
June over and over. So it's one of the
Okay.
two. It is either
Okay.
that he was examining his feelings in June, or by June this coming year, which because we're already in 24, yes, we're almost, sorry, I lose time here. By June of 25, that's when you
Mhm.
see him showing up in a different way if you're able to hang in there for that long.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm fine. I know it. He, yeah, I'm patient. I know he needs time. So
Yeah, there's also some stuff with health going on. It's not just what's going on with him emotionally. I feel like health needs to be a little better than what it is also. I don't know if that's been mentioned yet or not,
yeah.
but I feel like the immune system needs more attention. If you're comfortable, pass on my feeling that if he's able to get antioxidants in, let's say, a drip form from a physician, obviously they'd have to check his levels and see what's what first, but it feels as if he could benefit from that. So think in terms of antioxidants, vitamins, anything that builds up the immune system. But for whatever reason, I get specifically in drip form, where they tap into your vein and give it directly to you.
Okay.
Okay. I will
Okay.
say too, one other thing here, be nicer to you. And it's funny, this seems to be way too popular with women, that we are not as nice to each other as we should be. So think in terms of what is it that you can do for you that creates more smiles on your face on a consistent basis. Okay, my friend,
Okay.
thanks so much for calling in. Have a great night.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Hi, I think we have Gina from Cape May, New Jersey.
Hi, how are
Hello.
you?
I'm
Hello?
great. I know that area. I
That's
had,
nice to
had
hear.
friends pardon?
That's nice to hear. It's a beautiful place.
It is. It really is. I had friends in Ventnor and Atlantic City and across that entire area. And I'm from New York originally. It was always a lot of fun to
Huh.
go to, oh gosh, what's the other place? Is it Egg Harbor? Which is not right
Yes,
near Cape May, but it's not all that far either, where the winery is.
yes.
Anyways, very different environment, but both very beautiful places in Jersey was my point.
Yes, it's a small world, huh?
Yes. Did you have a specific question you wanted to address this evening? Or did you just want whatever popped up?
Whatever popped up. There's
Okay.
all kinds of hardships going on at the moment, so I'm just hoping to have some kind of good insight.
Okay. August, I'm hearing in my head, as in this past August, and it feels very concrete. I get three different areas of your life right now that there is a lot of chaos going on. I don't like to use that word, but I don't know how else to describe what I'm sensing here. And it feels as if in August there was a shift in one of the areas that it was like, almost, like being startled, like taking a deep breath, like, what do I do now? On a
Hmm.
good note, this is October, September, October, November, December. I'm going to say by mid January, you're going to find there is a shift again, but in a very positive way. It's like you're in this weird, I'm going to use the word vortex. It's like you've been sucked in. And so anything that's shown up, it's been with upset and it's been with, well, how do I navigate? How do I balance? It's like constantly asking yourself, how do I fix it? I'd love to tell you that you can fix it, what the feeling is, take a breath, have faith, and know that this cycle is ending. It's just not ending tomorrow. It doesn't mean you won't have some lovely moments in between, but it does mean this, I'll call it intensity of emotion that I keep sensing is not done until the beginning of 2025. That breaks down to really looking for things right now that you can have gratitude for. Because the more that you can say, I am grateful, the higher your frequency. The higher your frequency, the faster you move through this chaotic cycle that you're in. When it specifically comes to family, I just keep getting smile and shake your head a lot. That sounds
Yes.
banal, and I feel like that's the easiest way to handle it right now. And I know that's not typically who you are. It's kind of like, hey, no, I have something to say. I'm going to say it. I'm very straightforward. That's who I am. And yet, for the moment, it feels as if it's the easiest way to handle things by just smiling and going, I hear you. Even if
Mhm.
you don't agree with anything, it's more a matter of acknowledging what's taking place versus, again, fixing. If you want to fix something, think in terms of learning how to fix plumbing. I'm being goofy with that. By the same token,
Right.
my point is divert your attention to things that you're not familiar with that you can become familiar with, that you can take care of. Because another thing with you that I get is you're really very handy and very savvy. You learn things quickly. And part of that is other people sometimes feel intimidated by you, not because you're doing anything wrong. It's just without realizing you can be overwhelming to other people because you process very quick in your head. You learn things. It's kind of like, oh, I remember, oh yeah, 3 years ago this thing happened, and oh, we just do A, B, and C and it's fixed. Like stuff sticks with you where it doesn't necessarily stick with other people. And so again, there is a little bit of that overwhelm with others. Brings me back to kind of just shaking your head for the moment. Think in terms of creating as much ease and peace as possible for the next several months. I'm not saying go, okay, I'm going to just take everybody and everything being dumped on me. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is learn how to create peace even though you are in adversity, because the cycle will be ending. And I keep seeing wheels, and then I keep seeing like wheels of a car. So, what is this? Like the tires being put on the wheels. What is it called? Rotating tire. Sorry, totally different subject for just a moment, but because I'm seeing a picture in my head, I want to share this. It feels as if it's important. If you haven't had tires rotated, it's important. So, whichever car that you are traveling in primarily, make sure
Okay.
tires are rotated. I just feel like there's something there that needs to be taken care of. It's almost like in my mind's eye, as the tire is being taken off, the tech goes, oh, okay, well, we needed to see this. So there's
Okay.
something there to kind of just protect you. Okay. And again, it
Okay.
just shows up in my head. I feel like it's important enough to mention. All right. The other thing here is I keep hearing the word Tom, but I'm uncertain if it's Tom as in the name of somebody or Tom as in a reference to Tom Cat, like someone catting around, someone not being in their integrity. I'm leaning more towards Tom Cat here. Okay. See here too, I keep going, kind of just allow for the moment. Oh, this is a tough couple of months. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be negative. I just feel like you have to keep your
It has
balance.
been.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just thinking, breathe. All kidding aside, it's like take that breath and hold it for a second and then like dispelling unwanted energy when you breathe. I would love to give you a magic wand and go, hey, 2 seconds, just go bing, 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 it's all fixed. It's not that quick right now. By the same token, I feel like when everything is finished, you will find that as you look back, you realize there was significance. This is not all happening just to drive you crazy, even though it feels like it at the moment. It's not. It's about you recognizing things in the future before they can have an adverse effect on you and others that you care about. And it's interesting because I
Okay.
keep going back to that feeling of tomcat. And to me, a tomcat is not just someone who cats around with all the other girl cats, but a tomcat is somebody who has a swagger, somebody who thinks they know it all, somebody who doesn't necessarily give respect where respect is due. Is any of this making sense to you?
Yes, because I
Okay.
just lost a job, and that's kind of how my previous boss was.
There, and I'm going to go back to what I said a little bit ago, they were in overwhelm with you because they couldn't control you. That's where that tomming around, catting around comes from. It's kind of like they wanted to be the hot shot, and they were threatened, which I think is ridiculous because they don't get you vying for their job. I feel like it was more a matter of you just wanting to do things right.
Right.
Okay, so again,
Do we see a
hang
new
in there.
job coming anytime soon?
It will be. And again, I want to say immediately, but I will say something different, which is be open to taking something now just as a filler. Think in terms of the holidays coming along, the holidays, I should say, between Thanksgiving and Christmas and Hanukkah and all of that. There are things that you could do that you wouldn't necessarily normally do, but that you could do temporarily. My concern, hun, is if you go and accept another position before it's the right time, you will make another change. And I feel like that would be very difficult on you. Whereas if you're able to just be open to taking something with the idea that it's temporary, after January, you will get right into something that you love. And there's also a feeling here of you being able to do something on the side that has kind of been a hobby or a thought about doing that also could generate some money right now. Not that it has to become a full-time thing, but I just feel like you're not fully using all of your talents in this moment. Give a little thought to that. And again, give a little thought to being open to doing something now, knowing that it's not permanent. The overall feel here is before, yeah, before mid-February, you will be employed in a new position, but it's something that makes you feel really good. And I feel that the people there will be going, "Oh my God, we're so glad you're here," versus this tomcat who is all about him.
Right.
In the interim, also, I know considering finances, that's never fun because, like all of us, you have certain
Yes.
things earmarked and certain expenses and responsibilities. I'm going to simply say, have conversations. Meaning, if something seems a little bit implausible at the moment, pick up the phone and just explain what's going on. I feel like there will be much more leeway than you would anticipate.
Okay.
And the other thing here is I keep hearing, don't have people stay. So to me, this is if somebody's like, oh, can I crash at your place? Or, I need to stay by you for a while. Or, we should get a place together. Please say no. It
Okay.
doesn't feel like it's the right time to be looking after anybody else. It really doesn't. It feels as if they would be draining your energy, not intentionally, but it just feels as if it would be too much in this moment. And again, you've had enough right now, and you're still in this funky cycle. Just know that it is changing. Know that 2025 will be exceptionally brighter than 2024 all the way around. I also feel like you have information in your dreams that I don't know you that you're paying attention to enough. I'd love to suggest, and I am going to suggest, keep a notebook next to the side of your bed or something to write with. And when you first wake up in the morning, don't immediately jump out of bed. Ask yourself, what is it I need to write down? I feel like there are remnants of dream time that stay with you and that are intuitive. It's not just dream state, like, oh, I'm in REM state and I'm trying to figure things out. That's not what I'm getting. I'm actually getting prophetic information in your dream time. But I feel like you are so busy in your head jumping up and moving that you're not grasping it. take a moment, leave something near the bed, whatever pops in, even if you think it's absurd, just write it down and look at it later. I feel as if you will find there's a lot of information there that can be very helpful to you at this time. Also, I keep hearing the word grandma. So this tells me there is either a grandmother or grandmother like figure. And when I say that, it would be somebody in that age group of grandma. It could be an aunt or even a great grandma, but it feels like a grandma, if you will, presence age group that is passed on, that keeps looking in on you. And it's interesting too, because I feel as if there's this, all right, best way I can phrase this. When someone has been adopted, oftentimes they don't know who their actual family is. That doesn't mean that their loved ones from the other side don't still look in. And I'm not saying that you've been adopted. I get the feeling, though, that there is something that is not 100% clear with your history. And there are loved ones when I get major confirmation, loved ones on the other side that are looking in that want to help and guide you. That said, I'll just reiterate, leave something near your bed, take a moment before you get up, write down whatever pops in. Try not to censor it. I feel like you have information coming through from the other side for you. All right?
Yes.
Okay. And I wish you so much luck. I know things are going to be better. Just maintain your gratitude, which I know is a little tough at the moment, but you can look up and say, wow, the sun's shining. I'm grateful. Something as simple as that right now can be huge.
Right.
Anything that
Absolutely.
will put you into that state. All right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, hon. Thank you so much for calling tonight.
Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it.
My pleasure. If you'd like to reach me when I'm not on air, you can call the office direct at 561-755-2166. If you'd like more information on me, of course, Google has a bunch of stuff, though it's always easiest to go to my website, which is very old-fashioned. You will find out, however, it does have a lot of content, and that's HalleyElise.com. Just like you can see on the banner on the show right there, HalleyElise.com. I wish all of you a beautiful evening and look forward to having more guests on the show that I can introduce you to. Thank you again for tuning in. Hope to connect with you, if not next week, in the office or over the phone.